In times of hardship, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear alone, it's often not grand gestures or dramatic declarations that bring us solace, but rather the quiet, unwavering presence of someone who truly cares. For Pamela, a member of the iconic R&B group TLC, that person was Jay, and his golden retriever energy became her sanctuary during one of life's most challenging chapters. Pamela Thomas-Gay, known professionally as Chili, has lived a life in the spotlight. From the highs of chart-topping hits like *Waterfalls** and *No Scrubs** to the lows of personal struggles and industry battles, she's experienced the full spectrum of fame. But beyond the lights, cameras, and applause, there's a quieter side to her journey, one filled with resilience, healing, and the kind of love that doesn't seek recognition but simply shows up, day after day. Jay entered her life not as a savior or a fairy tale prince, but as a grounding force, a constant in a world that rarely stands still. His energy, as she described it, was like that of a golden retriever. Loyal, warm, endlessly patient, and always ready to offer comfort without conditions. In a time when so many relationships are transactional or fleeting, Jay stood out for his authenticity and emotional availability. He didn't try to fix everything, nor did he pretend to have all the answers. Instead, he listened, he stayed. He showed up with an open heart and a steady presence, reminding her that sometimes, just being there is more powerful than doing anything at all. For Pamela, those moments of connection, whether sitting in silence, sharing laughter over something small, or talking through the heaviness of past wounds, became lifelines. She had spent years navigating the complexities of fame, motherhood, and personal loss. The music industry can be unforgiving, and TLC's journey was no exception. Behind every award and platinum plaque were sleepless nights, financial disputes, and the pressure to maintain relevance in a rapidly changing landscape. As a woman in the public eye, Pamela also faced scrutiny about her choices, her image, and her relationships. It was easy to feel isolated, even surrounded by people. But Jay saw her, not just the performer, not just the icon, but the woman beneath the spotlight. He reminded her that vulnerability wasn't weakness, but rather strength in its purest form. He gave her permission to feel, to grieve, to heal, and to grow. There were no expectations, no judgments, only support wrapped in kindness. That kind of love is rare, especially in industries where ego often overshadows empathy. The metaphor of golden retriever energy isn't just whimsical, it speaks volumes about the kind of soul Jay possesses. Golden retrievers are known for their gentle spirits, their ability to sense emotions, and their unconditional love. They don't care if you're having a bad hair day or if you've made mistakes. They'll still greet you with joy and nuzzle your hand when you're sad. In much the same way, Jay brought that kind of warmth into Pamela's life. He was the calm in her chaos, the light in her darker moments, and the steady heartbeat that reminded her she wasn't alone. What made this relationship particularly meaningful was how it unfolded organically, without pretense or urgency. There was no rush to label things or to impress anyone. Instead, they built trust slowly, allowing their bond to deepen with each passing day. For Pamela, who had been through the fire of both personal and professional trials, this kind of grounded connection was healing in ways she hadn't anticipated. It reminded her that love doesn't always come with fireworks. It can arrive quietly, like the sun rising after a long night. There were days when the past felt heavier than she could carry. Days when old wounds flared up unexpectedly. And on those days, Jay didn't push her to smile or pretend everything was fine. He simply held space for her pain, letting her know that whatever she was feeling was valid. He never tried to minimize her struggles or compare them to others. Instead, he offered compassion without condescension, understanding without pity. It was the kind of emotional intelligence that can only come from a place of genuine care. Beyond the emotional support, Jay also helped Pamela reconnect with parts of herself she thought she'd lost along the way. He encouraged her creativity, supported her growth, and celebrated her successes, even the small ones. Whether she was working on new music, spending time with family, or simply enjoying a quiet moment of peace, he was proud of her. Not because of what she could do or achieve, but simply because of who she was. This dynamic created a ripple effect in her life. Feeling uplifted and seen allowed her to show up more fully in other areas, whether as a mother, an artist, or a friend. When you're constantly pouring from an empty cup, it's hard to give your best to anyone. But with Jay's support, Pamela found her rhythm again. She rediscovered her voice, not just musically, but personally. She learned to advocate for herself, set boundaries, and prioritize her well-being without guilt. Perhaps most importantly, Jay helped her remember that she was worthy of love, not because of her talent, her fame, or her accomplishments, but simply because she existed. That kind of affirmation, coming from someone who had nothing to gain and everything to give, was transformative. As their relationship continued to evolve, it became a testament to the power of emotional support and companionship. It wasn't perfect, no relationship is, but it was real. It was rooted in mutual respect, shared values, and a deep understanding of one another's journeys. Through the ups and downs, they remained each other's safe places. Pamela has often spoken about the importance of self-love and inner strength, but even the strongest hearts need support. Jay provided that in a way that felt effortless yet profound. His golden retriever energy wasn't just about being sweet or agreeable. It was about showing up with integrity, humility, and a willingness to walk alongside someone through whatever came their way. In a world that often glorifies hustle and hides pain behind polished smiles, Jay's presence was a reminder that sometimes the greatest gifts we can offer one another are patience, presence, and unconditional love. For Pamela, that meant everything. It reminded her that even after surviving storms, there's still room for sunshine. And sometimes, that sunshine comes in the form of someone who loves you exactly as you are. And for that, she will always be grateful.